Thank you for joining me today. We're going to take a few moments in a seated position and take a few breaths. The first pose we're going to come into is called reclined butterfly. Take your yoga blanket or large towel and make a roll out of it. Then you're going to place it on the top of your mat lengthwise. We will then lay down on the blanket with the bottom of it in line with the bottom of your shoulder blades. Then bring the soles of your feet together and relax your knees out to the side. If this bothers your knees or your legs, you can put rolled towels underneath your knees, or you can use your blocks. Enjoy the hip opening and heart opening of this pose. For those of you familiar with Yin, you can go into your meditation while I talk about the practice. Yin Yoga is a more mindful practice. We hold the poses for 3 to 5 minutes. We do this to get into the connective tissue of the body, such as fascia, ligaments, and tendons. Our main focus is the lower back, hip joints, and pelvis. We tend to sit in chairs most of the day. This has the effect of limiting our natural range of motion in these areas. Practicing Yin regularly will strengthen and stretch your connective tissue to bring back the natural movements in the body. I ask that you go to your soft edge in the pose. You should be uncomfortable but not in pain. If you have any sharp shooting pain or numbness, please back out of the pose. Remember to listen to your body, modify poses if needed, use your props to support your body, and allow the muscles to relax. You can substitute a pose if the one we are doing is not working for your body. I will talk for the first few minutes of each pose, then the remaining time is for you to meditate. Today I will be talking about the winter solstice. Slowly, using your hands, bring your knees together. Then roll over to one side and bring the blanket out from under you. Lay back down for a moment. Bring your knees into your chest. Rock side to side. When you're ready, come up to a seated position for our next pose. It's called Dragonfly. We'll spread the legs out wide, and we're going to be leaning forward. If your pelvis does not come forward easily, you can sit at the edge of a blanket or two. And then when you come forward, if you do not come all the way to the floor, you can use a block or a bolster to prop your head. This will allow your body to completely relax into the pose. Winter's Cloak. This year, I do not want the dark to leave me. I need its wrap of silent stillness, its cloak of long-lasting embrace. Too much light has pulled me away from the chamber of gestation. Let the dawns come late. Let the sunsets arrive early. Let the evenings extend themselves while I lean into the abyss of my being. Let me lie in the cave of my soul, for too much light blinds me, steals the source of revelation. Let me seek solace in the empty places of winter's passage, those vast dark nights that never fail to shelter me. Slowly use your hands to push yourself up to a seated position. Bring your knees in. Do some windshield wipers with your legs. And from there you can kind of just drop your knees to one side to come into our next pose called deer pose. It's easier if you look at what I'm doing for the foot position. And then we're going to lean forward again. You can use your block or bolster, whatever you need to relax your head on. This month, we leave the metal element of fall behind and continue our journey forward. We begin to dive deeper into the abyss of the cold, wintry months ahead as the winter solstice approaches. In this abounding darkness, the ultimate yin, we travel into the world of the water element. Water is a shapeshifter and is able to adapt to the hardness of what lies in its path by yielding. The power of water gives us the flexibility and the fluidity for movement. The water element is about our courage and will. It is our will, courage, and instinct that help determines life's purpose. Slowly make yourself up to seated. Shake your legs out a little bit. When you're ready, you can come to the other side. Then you'll bring yourself forward again. Like the trees that have shed their leaves and stand bare against the horizon, it is this deep, dark, mysterious place where we let go of the things that need to die, in order to hold and contain the potential for new life to surge forward toward spring. Just as the buried seed, which contains the potential for life in the winter, sprouts spontaneously from the darkness in springtime, forges and pushes ahead against all obstacles in its path upwards toward the sky, where it becomes what it is meant to be. It is this will for life that has brought us all here to this very moment. Slowly bring yourself up. Shake your legs out. Do whatever feels good to your body in this moment. Maybe a reverse tabletop or windshield wipers. The next pose that we're going to come into is called saddle. Now you may be more comfortable seating on a block if this is uncomfortable for you. You can do on the tall side or the short side. If you prefer to stay up in a seated position, that's fine. If you have more space, you can go ahead and recline all the way back. We're going to sit inside of our heels. Your knees can be further apart if that is more comfortable for you. And then go ahead and recline back if that works for your body. Winter is associated with the kidneys. The kidneys are a very important organ because they are the root of both yin and yang energies of the body. They store our essence, called Jing in traditional Chinese medicine, which our parents gifted us at the moment of conception and contain the seat of our vitality. Many of the poses we are practicing today stimulate the kidney meridians. The kidneys permeate us with the desire to grow, flourish, and age gracefully. They are the seat of courage and willpower, and therefore any impairment in the kidney meridian results in feelings of fear and paranoia. When balanced, we have wisdom, rationality, clear perception, gentleness, and self-understanding. Gently come up to a seated position. Make your way to your hands and knees. We're going to shake out our hips a little bit, go into child's pose. Rest your lower back. It's a pretty deep back bend. Take a few moments here. Now let's come up to all fours. We're going to go into melting heart. This is a upper back bend. So you'll stay on your knees and stretch your arms out in front of you. You can bring your forehead or possibly your chin or chest to the floor. Try to keep your forearms off the ground in this pose. It is our bones and joints that are nourished and lubricated by the water element. When we push ourselves beyond our own limits to the point of total exhaustion by overworking, overcommitting, overanalyzing, consuming too many chemical stimulants, we begin to deplete our essence, our vitality, and disturb the kidneys and water element. We may begin to experience stiffness, tightness, and joint pain, especially in our lower back. Lose the initiative and spark for life, become forgetful, more fearful, develop depression, sexual and sleep disturbances, gravitate toward addictive patterns, and/or we freeze and develop cold feet, whereby we are unable to move forward and take on life. Slowly bring yourself up out of the pose. Stretch out your back. Do some cat-cows. Do whatever feels good to your body in this moment. Maybe some hip circles, side to side. It's perfectly normal to feel like you're 90 years old doing this practice. Next, we're going to come into shoelace. So you can stack your knees, try to get them as on top of each other as possible, and we're going to sit inside of our feet. This is another one where we're going to lean forward onto a block, or if you can go all the way to the floor, that's fine too. If this is too much, you can always stay upright in your seated position. Cultivating the spirit of water, we need to learn to let go of the struggle and practice yielding to the natural flow of life. For some, swimming in this uncharted water is a scary thing, but we must develop a trust in life and surrender to its tow. To develop a deeper sense of who we are, we must be willing to plunge into the darkness of the unknown and patiently wait for the potential of the new way of being to come to life. It is in the yin wisdom of the waters where we begin to understand who we are with a deeper sense of clarity and purpose. Slowly bring yourself up. Shake your legs out a little bit. Do whatever feels good. When you're ready, come to the other side. Make sure you do the opposite side. Both sides of your body may feel completely different. One is usually tighter than the other. Let the long, wintry nights ahead remind you that it is the void of darkness where potential unfolds, life begins, healing takes place, and where dreams come to life. The shimmering lights of the holiday season are a mere reminder that even in the darkness, there is always some light to guide your way. This month, as you settle into your Yin Yoga practice, close your eyes and allow the darkness to guide you to the places in your body you may have neglected or vacated. Cultivate and nourish your Yin qualities about who you are with loving compassion, acceptance, and forgiveness. If you are overwhelmed and overexhausted, practice what it might be like to surrender to the struggle, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Sometimes the greatest gift we can give ourselves is to trust in what we don't know and see where it takes us. Slowly make your way out of the pose. Shake out your legs. Do whatever feels good to you right now. Maybe windshield wipers side to side. Reverse tabletop's always a good option as well. We're going to come into a twist now. So you can either keep both knees together and drop them to one side, or you can do eagle legs like I'm doing, or you can straighten one leg and just bring the opposite leg over to that side. Try to keep your shoulders even with the ground. It's okay if it comes up a little bit, but if you need to prop your shoulder to make it feel more comfortable, please do so. A winter solstice prayer. The dark shadow of space leans over us. We are mindful that the darkness of greed, exploitation, and hatred also lengthens its shadow over our small planet Earth. As our ancestors feared death and evil and all the dark powers of winter, we fear that the darkness of war, discrimination, and selfishness may doom us and our planet to an eternal winter. We may find hope in the light that we have kindled on this sacred night, hope in one another and in all who form the webwork of peace and justice that spans the world. In the heart of every person on this earth burns the spark of luminous goodness. In no heart is there total darkness. May we who have celebrated this winter solstice by our lives and service, by our prayers and love, call forth from one another the light and the love that is hidden in every heart. Slowly untwist. Bring your knees to your chest. Rock side to side. Bring your forehead up to your knees if that feels good, before coming to the other side. I'm going to let you meditate a little longer on this pose. This will be our final pose before Shavasana. Come back onto your back. Bring your knees up into your chest again. Give yourself a little rock. Now we are going to get into our most comfortable position for Shavasana. If you have a bolster, you may want to put that under your knees, or if you're a little cold, you might want to put a blanket over you. Whatever makes you feel very comfortable in this moment. start to make some small movements to your body. Wiggle your fingers, toes. Do any movements that might feel good to you right now. Take your time. Roll onto one side, and when you're ready, come up to a seated position. Take a moment to thank you for joining me today. We have an additional video if you would like to know more about this location and some more information about it. You can also check out our website, rojiyoga.com, for more information about us or Yin Yoga. Please bring your hands to heart center. Namaste.